So we got a song here in the key of E, and the first thing I want to do is to just find some kind of like top melody and bass line for the string arrangement. So in this case, I came up with this. Right, so very, very simple melody and very, very simple descending bass line. So from there, what I did was just figure out which chords go with the bass movement and the melody. So what I found was this right here. So we got E, E7, A minor, E sus, because we're not really playing the third until the last bar here. Then we got an A minor again, E, and B. So here, like, the melody moves from the violin to the violin 1. And the bass line moves from the cello to the double bass down there. And with the software, it sounds like this. Right, so I got this melody here, I got this bass line here, and I know which chords I'm using for it. What I need to do now is just to fill in some of those middle notes. So in this case, the first couple of bars here, I decided to go quite light with only 3 instruments playing. So I need to add some notes to the viola part. So here we got an E, we got a G sharp, so we're missing that B. So that's the viola part. And in this case, we got the C sharp in the bass here for the A chord. We got an E on top, so we are missing an A. So again, so the viola part goes B to A. So all of that is really just nice stepwise motion, both in the violins too, in the viola, and in the cello, which is playing the kind of descending bass line here. So after the first 2 bars, we're just thickening up the texture by adding a double bass, which is here, which is simply doubling the cello. Exact same thing, I just copy-pasted it. That just gives it more depth. And the melody moves from the violin 2 to the violin 1 here. So the violin 2 takes up more of a supporting role, just as the viola below, actually. So this time I need to fill in the harmony in the violin 2, which is this bit here, and in the viola here. Another little thing that I did here is that you see here you got this movement from A to A minor, which is the same movement happening here, but here the note that actually changes to kind of indicate this movement from an A chord to an A minor chord happens in the cello first, and a couple bars later it happens in the viola. So I'm kind of, like switching things up, like doing just like very, 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 very small, let's say variations or like little embellishments and things. Same thing here, like this is just an embellishment, like this F sharp note here is really just an embellishment because the chord is E, A, and C. So F sharp doesn't really belong to the chord, we're just kind of anticipating this note here by playing it a bit before. So that's the next thing I do, when I've filled in the harmony, I add these little touches to kind of like add some counter melodies and some little bits and pieces to make the whole thing a bit more interesting. So good, you might have noticed that here it says A with E in the bass, and this is a pedal. So from here we're just pedaling on E. That means that the low note is E, even though the chords change above. And here we're doing the same thing. We're just doing E with a B pedal, resolving to B, which is the dominant chord, or the 5 chord of the song, because the song is in the key of E. Good, so once I have that, then I want to go back to Ableton Live, and I just set up a group. These are my strings for the intro of that song. I need some violins. I need some violins too, violas, cellos, and basses. So I'm just going to add some contact instruments for this. In this case, I used the Motown patch on Session Strings Pro. And this is just the legato articulation. It sounds fine. So I just play every part in, starting with the violins, then the violins too, violas, cellos, and finally basses. Once I've played it in, I add a utility, and I do a bit of volume automation to make the playing a bit more expressive, a bit more real, and also to feature various instruments, because various instruments might do little counter melodies and things like that, and I want to feature those. So that's my violins too. These are featured. Now I want to feature my violins 1. Right, and some other things I might want to feature is that, like that C sharp to C in the cellos first, and then again the C sharp to C in the violas. So if we take a listen again, I might want to highlight that in the cellos, and then I might want to highlight that in the violas. You can hear I highlighted it more in the violas than the cellos. And yeah, so this is with volume automation. If I just solo the violin track, and you can have a look at here at the gain knob here, and also see the automation that I did. Good, so that's just an example of how I like to arrange my strings. It's just one of the methods, and you don't actually have to write things down. You don't have to be able to read or write sheet music to be able to do this. But I find that doing something like this, especially if things get more complicated than that, really helps me to kind of keep an overview of things, and it makes me a bit more creative with like the little counter melodies and things like that, because I can just make sure that I'm outlining the harmony like I want, and then add, like little variations, little things, little ear candy to it. Good, so I hope that was useful, and see you soon.
Follow my heart, follow my heart, follow my heart, follow my heart. Chasing sunny days around the world I roam, waking with excitement, a location unknown. The people and the places that inspire me to go.